Let's try this out.
Test.
Hello. Welcome.
Greetings.
Does this work?
Should.
I think this is working really well.
If
Let me get on my
it
stool.
isn't,
All
just
right.
like the old days, we'll find out after the 3-hour episode.
Exactly. This is
then
our
fix it.
continuous 3-hour episode.
Yeah, they'll split up accordingly.
Yep. So we'll start it off with a cheers.
True. Jeez.
Beautiful. All right. The goal is to get wasted in 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably dude. I fucking hate getting waste stuff beer.
It's gonna suck. We're gonna trudge. But we got some delicious Coors Light. Brought to you by Coors Light. I'm gonna turn up the headphones a little bit. Coors Light is a delicious beverage. You know what I'm gonna do is put us through a fucking.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm gonna also say that I don't like Coors Light unless they pay us money.
Yeah, Coors Light sucks dick unless I get paid.
Yeah, they're nice, but they're not nice enough.
No, they're disgusting. They're disgusting and gross. We'll be right back. All right, we're back.
Yeah, I will shout out the metronome that just counted me in. I don't know what that was.
We should we should give a quick moment of silence for the metronome. It's gonna sound amazing.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna be very easy to edit. You know how quickly my voice gets like really far, really hard to hear.
Oh, this is gonna get so much worse once this goes on. I at least had to stand the last time.
Yeah, no stand means no problem.
Yeah, for the visual view, for the audio listeners here, we've gone back to our roots, back to the handheld mics and headphones.
Yeah, because there's only two of us.
And
Jeff is off blowing his girlfriend, and
we don't know if he's gonna make it back from that one, so this could be goodbye.
Yeah, and Justin is in for the night after. I think he molested himself to death. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure that was the thing.
Is that what he was saying? I think that's what he was saying on the phone. I couldn't hear him because he was dead. So
the
he
spirit
did
box was off. The static. All you got was molestation. Just assumed.
Yeah, all I got was, "Hey, it's Justin. Just molested myself to death. Talk to you later."
It's like shit. All right. What can you do at that point? I'm not gonna unmolest him back.
No, that would be impossible.
No. Take too much time.
No, way
I
too
don't have
much
that
time.
kind of time.
I don't have any kind of time. I'm just trying to molest myself to death.
Cheers to that.
Hey, cheers to that. Cheers to that. Cheers to cheersing.
Mm-hmm.
So quick doubles. All right, so I think a tried and true method of this podcast is that we interview Lucas. Lucas, what is your job about?
Which one?
Not dunks, obviously. What do you do all day?
My lab job?
Yeah.
That's my second job.
Are you an intern?
Yes, I guess, technically.
Paid?
Yes. Well, paid technically. There's a lot of technicalities in that job.
You should definitely explain, because I've never heard of someone getting paid technically.
I'll start with the
table.
I'll start with
that
the
wouldn't
pay.
happen in the lab, right?
No. It's more like I was promised pay when I started, and I've been working for 4 months, and I haven't been paid yet. But that's because it's like through a school, and school paperwork takes a while to file.
Yeah,
so
not a like a check. Like you're a paid employee. You're like a full not a full employee, but you're a part-time employee. Like, you're on the books. So
no, I'm not even on the book. I just became on the books as of last week.
And are you saying it's because of your school?
Yeah,
or?
I'm saying it's the school because it takes forever.
Because the lab is its own separate thing.
No, the lab is the school. Like, I do research for my school.
That was my misunderstanding.
Yes,
okay, so what do you do?
So my specific research is I take yeast cells, right? And these yeast cells, well, I guess the general purpose is, cooking oils, right? From like fast food chains and stuff. We take that and feed it to yeast, right?
Okay.
Yes. And
is that what you were looking for me to say? Okay.
I'm making sure you're understanding where I'm going with this.
I'm not understanding any of this. You give fast food to yeast.
No, fast food oil. We're not feeding these things
so canola oil.
Yeah, you're frying oils. Yeah. We give that to the yeast. The yeast eats it. And then we genetically engineer the yeast to produce other like vitamins and stuff, like omega-3.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah. Everyone I've told that to has not been happy about that because they don't like the idea of artificial omega-3, first of all, and then that artificial omega-3 coming from yeast that's consuming cooking oil.
Why do they not like that? That sounds It sounds like one of the funniest sci-fi movies I've ever seen.
I don't know. Well, I think they just don't like the idea of like artificial nutrients, which I kind of understand, but
What, like they're anti-GMO?
I guess, yeah. They prefer their omega-3 coming straight from the like ground up salmon. The salmon they just pull out of the river and just start beating to death through their omega-3s.
You can't look me in the eyes and mispronounce salmon that many
Salmon. I know, there's an L there. How do you say salmonella?
How do you say salmon rusty?
Salmon rusty.
Touche.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, indeed.
So, like, how do you feel about GMOs in general? Like, if you're eating food, I assume your parents go to the grocery store, not you. But like, when you're eating food, do you look for that stuff? Do you care? Do you think about it at all?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah,
we've been genetically modifying food for like aeons.
Yeah, that's what I've always. Yeah, we've been doing. That's the point of agriculture.
Yeah, it's we control the grain so that it does what we want it to. That's genetic modification.
That's what humans have been doing for everything since we've been humans.
Yeah, literally. So there's no real issue. Like the thing that I think they associate it with is like pesticides and stuff, because like you can genetically engineer food to like not be as insects. Yeah, you can genetically engineer food to be more insect.
So it becomes more of like a food chain issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, more like they're like, oh, if it's repelling the insects, what is it doing to us? And that's kind of an odd way to look at it, because that's not how that works. Because
it's not a pesticide.
Exactly.
It's a genetic modification.
Yeah, it's like this food is no longer as tasty to the flies.
Right.
Like, great. Amazing.
That's kind of yeah. So what would you say your job is generally? Because you went specific.
I am a lab hand. So like, quite simply, I am just like a third hand to the PhD students. Because in our lab, there's 5 of us. There's 6 of us. There's 4 PhDs. There's the other trainee, or I guess lab tech, who's a master's degree. And then there's me on my bachelor's degree. So I'm the newest, second newest. The master's is newer, but he has other lab experience.
Right.
So I have the least experience, the least education, and just the least in everything. So I'm just literally like the guy that they're just like, hey, we need this moved over here. Can you do that?
Is there a chance that you're the Charlie in the Flowers for Algernon situation?
I didn't watch that movie.
I didn't even know there was a movie, but it's that thing.
I didn't know that. I didn't. Yeah, was it a show?
That was that thing. I don't know. There's that thing of like, this guy takes smart pills. Yeah. But it turns out he's a lab rat. Well, he always was a lab rat for whatever's happening. But like, this is his whole thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're testing on me because they don't really have me doing much intense things that they would need testing.
Maybe that's the test.
Maybe. How long is it going to take for me to actually be like, this doesn't really seem useful to me?
They're waiting to see when you ask to get paid.
Yeah, exactly. When am I going to start complaining? To be fair, I don't really care that much because them not paying me means I don't have to show up. So I kind of just work like whatever I want.
You know serious?
I mean? Yeah, they don't. They were like, even upon like interning me or interviewing me, they were just like, yeah, there's no specific hours. You just show up and work whenever you can. I was just like, that's a good sign. You know what I mean? A job that's just like, show up when you can, do what you can. I'm just like, all right, great.
Yeah, but you're not getting paid.
Exactly, I'm not.
What they're saying is, hey, you can just come in and volunteer whenever you want.
Basically, I was just like, all right, cool.
If you want to help us with this insane project, we're not going to put your name anywhere or anything. We're just going to have you come in and volunteer on the weekends.
Exactly. It's like, oh, great, cool. That'll go on the resume. Oh, yeah, I lugged around the yeast. Yeah, no, but it's a time.
What's the time?
No, it is a time.
It's a time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a time to be alive, or?
It's a time, I get to move things. Occasionally, they let me play with the reactors.
What is a reactor?
It's like
explain that to the layman.
It's the thing that we put the yeast in, and we just keep it in there, and it's like the thing we put in. We give it like food, water, oxygen, like everything it needs to survive. It's basically just a habitat
for humanity,
for the yeast.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And we put it in there and we see what it does for 7 days, and then we take it out and put in a different kind of yeast in there.
So what would happen if you left it in for 14 days? Would the yeast just die?
Depends on the yeast.
Okay, how many yeasts are there?
There's a few. I haven't made a few, but they've made a few kinds of yeast.
They've made them or have they met them?
Genetically modified them.
Okay.
They're GMO yeast.
Damn. And you're going to put that into a bread?
A reactor.
Oh.
And then if they don't cooperate, then they go in the bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a strong start.
Yeah. So you asked me a question. Let me ask you one.
You shoot.
What do you do for a living?
For a living?
Yeah.
I get paid under the table at a liquor store.
Nice. Okay. What is it? Do you do actual liquor related business, or are you just move things around like I do?
I basically just move things around. I'm a stock boy, and then they're teaching me how to be a cashier, but it's one of those old cash registers that it's not a POS system, so I don't know how to work it.
Is it like the fucking old timey things that look like typewriters and shit?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Man, fuck that, bro. It's so old. It's probably from like the 90s or something, bro. Fuck that, dude.
Stupid. As of recording, that's 50 years ago, by the way.
Mm-hmm. As of the time you're hearing this, is probably more like 150 years.
Recording date is 50 years. Publishing date is closer to 150.
Yeah, but that's really it. And then I do other things, but they're not really. There's no way to make money off of them for the time being.
No.
So I have like 6 or 7 hobbies, and then like one part-time job.
I mean, yeah, I get. I think that's what most people strive for, actually.
Yeah, right.
7 hobbies. Good. What's your favorite one of those?
Well, I like to diversify.
Yeah. Like a portfolio.
Yeah, exactly.
A portfolio of no money making. Your portfolio of things that could make money but don't.
That's why I'm terrified of credit cards, man. Because I know I'm gonna have the worst credit score. As soon as I open it up and be like, "Yeah, I have all this money. Let's finally take advantage of my 7 hobbies."
Can finally afford that new.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the new whatever on your credit card debt.
What's my favorite one?
No, the 7.
It's dumb. Is that what you said?
No, I said of the 7.
Oh, I thought you said no, it's dumb, and I was like, yeah.
Immediately knew.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Shoot it down, dude. This is fucking dumb, dude. Let's move it on over to a story time. So,
okay, if you're not gonna answer that one though, what is your least favorite hobby?
What's my least favorite hobby?
Yeah, because that one's at least interesting. I think I already know the first.
What is my least favorite hobby? That is a question that requires a lot of thinking and a lot of dead air.
We'll come back to it then.
Yeah,
but
well,
I'll
think about it. But in the meantime, tell us a story.
A story? What stories do I have to tell? What stories can I tell?
Yeah, it could be made up.
Can be made up? Okay.
It could be a fairy tale.
All right,
Just tell us a story. Tell me a little bedtime story.
I was actually told...
Rock my ass to sleep.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you one. It's a Jewish tale, right?
Of course.
I was at work being a lab technician.
Being Jewish?
Yes. Very cool. Well, no, if I was being Jewish, I would be getting paid. But... you know.
Yes. Yeah. And...
you know. I love the Jewish people.
I'll let you sidetrack just so you can hit my device.
Thank you.
The Jewish people are great people. They're very industrial people, very productive people, contrary to what people say. And no, they're not greedy. They just a little bit greedy. Okay, so let's switch on.
Let's take it back to my story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was working with the master's degree at my my lab, right? And he was telling me the story about a Jewish folktale or whatever. About it kind of relates to the, you know what I mean? It can always be worse state. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this bad thing happens. And you're just like, oh, it can always be worse. You know that saying, that response, I guess.
Which is in stark contrast to what the Jewish people actually believe.
Yes.
Which is, oh, this is the worst.
You know, exactly. It doesn't, for the Jews, it doesn't get worse than that. But everybody else, though, can be.
Yeah. all of the races, all of the time. Jewish people get it the hardest.
The worst.
They look around and they could reasonably say, "Hey, this is the worst."
Looking at their history, there's not many gold like bright points in there. You know what I mean? There's something like, we were at peace. We were, not at war.
It could always be worse. I got bread today.
Exactly. As opposed to yesterday when you just got yeast.
Hey,
you had to
callback.
I know. Look at that.
You know what? Cheers to that callback.
Cheers to that callback.
Let's keep getting. We only have one beer. It's 15 minutes, only one beer. These are rookie numbers. We got to get those numbers up.
Been talking to when we had more people, I'd be able to take like 5-minute breaks where I could just chug a beer. But like now I have to hold down the fort with just you. And
what we'll do?
We're both slacking.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And I need to start thinking about things.
Yeah,
because my mind is a blank slate.
Yeah.
And it will probably be for the rest of this 3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
So I need to start.
A few more beers will change that.
I need to start getting drunk or creative because neither of those things has ever happened to me before.
All right, well, lucky for you, I can talk a lot of shit. So,
all right, I'm gonna drink this beer and then try to drink another one while you tell me this Jewish folk tale.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, it's this man in a village, right? And he's living in this house with his like whole family, his whole extended family, and they're having this problem, right? Where they're in the house and they feel like it's super cramped, right? And the guy, man in the house, he goes to the rabbi, right? And he's like, my family is saying that the house is super cramped. They're complaining every single day that they don't have enough room. What do I do about this? So the rabbi looks at him and he's just like, I want you to go back home and I want you to bring the chickens in your yard inside the house. He does this. The man goes home, brings the chickens inside. And obviously, I'm assuming you know what a chicken is. Very feathery, not potty trained, loud.
Before you finish the story,
yes.
Is there a moral?
Yes.
Was the man trying to teach you something?
The
man telling you the story?
No, he was just talking.
God damn it.
Yeah, That's
the most Jewish thing I've ever heard. It's not even a point to this goddamn fable. Okay, fine.
Listen,
all right.
The point of the fable was that fables are kind of cool sometimes, all right?
Okay, so
the point,
back to the story. If the guy's house is crowded,
okay, all right,
and he goes to his rabbi, and the rabbi says, put a chicken in there.
No, not a chicken, all of them. Every single chicken. Bring the entire hen house into your house.
Well, if you put a chicken in it.
Did you see that video? I'm assuming you did. Yeah, you liked it. You saw the video of fucking Jordan Peterson being just like, depression is when you're a defeated lobster and he fucking falls.
Did I ever show you? Me and Jeff found a Jordan Peterson supercut of like all of it's almost like a YouTube poop, but it's exactly that, but it's like 20 minutes long. I have not laughed that hard since like middle school. It was crazy.
YouTube poops are they're some of the best fucking content out there. It was so
good. I can't even describe it, but after this we got it. Well, after this is probably going to be Betty Bye time. But
yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll play it on the podcast when we get really drunk. So
exactly, yeah. And then after that one, have you seen the one of not Jordan Peterson, but PragerU guy?
I've never heard of this man.
He's like the really old guy, and he's just like, it's the one where he's just like, if you push a baby under the water, it's gonna fucking drown. Have you seen that one?
No.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Then we're playing that one after that one because that one I think is one of the funniest ones out there.
Awesome.
Okay.
I did call Jeff before we started. I was up peeing and I called Jeff, and I told him that we're starting, and he said he's at Kaylin's house. Sucking her penis.
Yep.
And that he'd let us know.
Okay. All right.
But he didn't let me know anything. And what are we, 20 minutes in?
Yeah.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah, so we'll just assume he's dead.
Yeah, we'll assume that he's not coming home.
Yeah, okay.
And if he comes home, we'll assume that he's tuckered out.
At that point, he's no longer welcome.
No.
The offer extends 30 minutes. If he's not here within 10,
exactly.
It's void. He's not welcome on the podcast.
Exactly. Which is the moral of my story, which takes us to the moral of your story, which is that there is no moral, and that everything just ceases to be.
Exactly.
Much like Jewish your story, tale. Which I will not let you finish until the end of the third hour.
Well, we'll get to it in chunks. If the audience wants it, they need to pay attention.
But give us a little bit of a teaser. Give us a couple more sentences of your story.
Okay.
So we're at the point where the rabbi lets the chickens.
Well, not the rabbi. The rabbi's not going home with this man.
Let my people go. Am I correct?
Yes, he says, let my people go, as in let the chickens come inside.
Let the chickens come inside of your house.
The words behind the words, or whatever. The words in between the lines, right?
The subtext.
Exactly, the subtext.
Much like how people found out that being a homosexual is anti-Christian.
Yes.
It's all in the subtext.
Exactly, because that was very hidden in the Bible. You had to read deep for that one.
You had to be gay to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be looking.
You needed a gaydar to see it.
Exactly. Okay. So we're at the point where Moses says, "Let my people go," and the chickens get in the house.
Yeah, exactly. And the man goes home. He lets the chickens in, and again, they're chickens. They're not potty trained. So they're shitting all over the floor, laying eggs everywhere,
and obviously more crowded.
More crowded, of course. Feathers everywhere. They're loud. So the family, with all these chickens inside, and they're still crowded house, they didn't get any sleep the next night. So they all start complaining again. The guy goes back to the rabbi, and he's just like, "Dude, I brought all the chickens in, and things are worse. What do I do now?" And the rabbi looks at him, and he's just like, "I want you to go home, and I want you to bring the goats inside."
Dude, this man is a genius. This man is a genius. Is the moral of the story that everything eats everything else?
We'll see. We'll see by the 3-hour mark.
We will see. So in the meantime, I'd like to digress.
Yeah.
There will be a Patreon at some point.
Yeah. The ending of the story will actually be on the Patreon.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Now that is how you tease.
I know. What can I say?
You have cliffhangers up your sleeve. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't even got sleeves right now.
No,
they're just in my skin.
You're sleeveless in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. I do have sleeves for the audio listeners.
For the second point of business, we definitely need to get a camera in here at some point. But we should wait until everyone here is 21. Because right now we
are all 21.
We have, plausible deniability. No, it's a bit. It's totally a bit. Everyone here is 21. But once everyone here is 21,
okay,
we'll have a camera.
Bleep my concern.
No. It's
okay.
Plausible deniability. This is all a bit.
Bleep the plausible deniability and... let's go back to the yeast.
Yeah, let's go back to the yeast. Can we go back to the yeast store?
Yeah, okay. So how do you feel about yeast overall? Opinions? Disagreed? Agree?
Well, but I've had probably more yeast infections than anyone else.
Yeah, probably.
So I probably most definitely the circle of friends that we have, I've had 7.
Yeah.
I doubt anyone else has even had 1.
Well, I've caused a few, but they weren't.
You've caused a few. Well, that's a story.
Yeah. A
story that we can get to on the Patreon.
Agreed. Yeah, I'll just say I handle a lot of yeast. Rest is on the Patreon.
Yeah, the rest is in my vodka.
Exactly.
So,
all right. Explain to me how you got the 6th yeast infection, because the other 5 I understand, but 6 is pushing
5,
it.
Exactly. The first 5 are obviously
boys will be boys. Coming of age stories. Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability. The 6th one was probably around the time that we got into our Walking Dead fight. Call back to our Walking Dead fight. Call back to our listeners.
Episode,
thank you for listening. Yeah, episode X.
Yeah.
Where we talked about that. And I think what happened was I was pounding a lot of puss. I was a puss pounder.
Of course, yeah, naturally.
I was gathering up all the cats. And,
in that day and age, if you were if you knew any Walking Dead lore, you were smashing pussy. You were slaughtering it. People would line up and you would just be wrecking it, dude. I'm pretty sure when I was there, I saw a line when we were at the lunch table. You didn't leave. It was leaving because the line was so big.
Yeah, to get out of there, man.
Exactly. There were so many women around our table that you were just listen, Lucas, you're scaring the hose away. I need to get out of here. And I was just all right.
Dude.
All right.
Dude. Me at that time, this is not even a bit. Me at that time, I walked around my block like it was not near Halloween, and I had a full zombie survivor. I had this fucking crocodile hunter hat. I would just take a walk around the block and just make sure everyone was safe from those zombies.
Check for any signs of people infected. You know what I mean? Somebody giving you the yellow eyes or whatever, and you would just be like, he's infected. I need to watch for him. Pull out your crossbow.
And I'm not positive, but it's definitely possible that was the 6th grade. Like, I know it wasn't past that, but it's very possible that it was during that time.
You did have it. Yeah, your Walking Dead phase was pretty long, I think.
It was long. I remember the whole 2012 End of the World thing. We had like a party over here with like the Tafts and all those guys.
Yeah, the fellas.
What is that? 25? Okay, we'll find it. None of these callbacks matter because we're gonna have to listen to it the whole time anyway.
Exactly. I noticed that when we were doing like the other one where somebody like called out a time. I was just like, it's kind of pointless because I'm already here. I can just look at the timestamp.
Exactly. The time's being recorded. That's fine. That's like regardless of whatever we do.
Exactly.
That's like the one constant is that the time keeps going.
Exactly. No, that's how it works usually. Kind of crazy how that works. I don't know.
Well, but also there are sometimes other constants.
Yeah, like gravity.
Sometimes.
That's not a constant. Yeah, good one. Yeah.
I said sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
You were talking about the yeast infection.
Okay, I was walking around the block, full zombie getup. I got around to the street behind ours. You know, it's less of a busy street, but I noticed something, right?
Yeah.
So I take out my cleaver.
Yes.
And I'm you know me. I'm a naturalist. I'm a survivalist. So I have the trained ears of a bald eagle.
Yeah.
And I have the eyesight of
Hawk.
the common mallard.
Common mallard, even better. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm immediately pause my tracks, you know, and I look back at me. Oh my god, my tracks aren't covered. So I cover my tracks.
Okay.
I turn back around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still hearing it. It's like this low whistle coming from the woods.
Yeah.
Leading off into the canal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I get a little bit closer. You know, I'm as quiet as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know it, Johnny,
Really?
bathing in the canal, whistling pretty low, like a low whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take out my cleaver.
Yeah, naturally. Yep.
And I try to, you know, like a game of darts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I throw my cleaver at him like a game of darts.
Yeah.
I missed terribly. The wind was crazy.
Yeah. Understandable.
You know, I wasn't properly dressed for the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
I should have thought about this better.
Yeah, the crocodile had probably gotten your way a bit.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But
I know usually your skills are.
Oh,
nobody beats them.
They're sharpened.
Exactly. Yeah,
sharper, much like the cleaver.
It's a cleaver. Yeah. Good one. Amazing.
A little cheers for the cleaver.
I think a cheers for the cleaver.
Yeah. Finish that.
Yeah, that little bit.
Well, part 2 of the story will be revealed on the Patreon /
Hold on. I'm sorry.
about an hour and a half. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Wow, that's it. Okay. Welcome back to the Chakra Zoom. We're at beer 2. Beer 2 is the time for grime. It's time for slime.
Cheers to beer too.
Cheers to beers.
Cheers to beers.
That was like a little pooty burp.
You know, you've already been dominating the burp section. I'm not trying to tread on your footsteps here.
You know what? You're right.
Once you get to the next episode, though, be warned.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta train them. I spend all my days training them. I'm like a rodeo clown. You know?
Yeah. Get in your clown car. You just drive around, and then you get out alone, and it's like, oh, where's the rest of the clowns? It's just you.
I get out alone out of a regular sized like VW. I just drive onto the field.
You can imagine you pulling up to a full like circus with an entire crowd. You just pull up, full clown get up, and everyone's like expecting a bunch of clowns to come out, like the classic fucking clown car thing, and it's just you.
It's just me in a regular VW, and I'm like 5'3". Like it's just the most underwhelming.
And naturally, your entire act would be to like you juggle like maybe 2 balls or something. Like,
I just juggle one ball and just keep tossing it to myself.
Like your nose is like, it's still honky, but it's still like honky enough that it's like, you know, people can still hear it, but it's like maybe the first 4 rows.
That's actually a good bit, is if I have a clown nose, but it's my actual nose.
Yeah.
So I honk it, and, you know, it's all red.
Wonk, wonk. Yeah.
All that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's actually my actual nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that could lead to other problems down the line? What if she's married?
Yep, of course, naturally. That would be critical. Like, 'cause there's no way you're showing
I can't
up to
take her on a picnic.
No, of course not. You'd be fucking honked.
We'd be out in public.
Exactly.
You know?
If
So,
somebody honks your nose, they're gonna know that
right.
you're
Exactly.
one of
Exactly.
those people.
And you know, it comes obviously there's gonna be a power struggle. You know? And when we get to the Ring of Fire, oh my god, don't tell me. Do not tell me.
You'll be fucked. Your nose will
I'll be
melt.
fucked. I'll be fucked in the butt by my real nose.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just 5'3". I'm just trying to get through life, dude. It's already hard enough.
Well, to be fair, in like maybe 2 months, you're going to be 5'5". So
Yeah, you're right. I am 14, so
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
there'll be a growth spurt coming out. Is this mic loose? What is it?
Oh, should we?
It is. I'm sorry, tightening up the mics.
Yeah, let's just.
Yeah. Just to make sure.
Does this sound better?
I think the audio quality is pretty good, right? Yeah. Here. Hello. Test. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Welcome.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Welcome.
Apologies to the audience.
Welcome back to the podcast.
We didn't realize the mics were off like that. The audio should be better now.
Well, this is the segment of the podcast where we do story time. So, Lucas, tell us about another story of yours. Actually, I'll start one of mine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'll do is I'm gonna reset these mics.
Yeah.
I think this sounds a lot better.
Why don't we have like a contrast here? Because as of right now, we've been pretty even, right? With the 2 beers, the quarters, the sticky table, the stool. I think this is the contrast that we need to really, hone in our specific subsets of skills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll try to tell the story. I'll try to tell the story, but I'll be quiet, and then the commentary will be loud. So there was,
and the message will be loud too.
So yeah, though he already knows the moral of the story. So there was a turtle, right? There was this one turtle one time. His name was Morris. His name was Morris the turtle, and Morris the turtle had a really tough life. He was adopted, but it didn't stick. So he went back to the orphanage. And he was already 12, so no one wants kids at that point. No one wants kids at that point in life, and it was a really tough time for him. And he was finally able to go. His one dream was to go to a public school because he wanted to learn how to spell. This is back in the Depression, and public school was not accessible for everyone. So Morris the turtle was denied public access until about the age of 17. He finally had 1 year of school, and what he learned in that time was that poor people. So I think that's something that we can all take away from. Was there any commentary?
Yeah, no, I was yeah, actually, that story of Maury the sea turtle is it really like that story. It's a different variation because obviously we're of different cultures, so there's the animals changed a bit. I know you as a black German, you had the sea turtle, but me as a Scandinavian Ugandan man, we actually replaced the sea turtle with a egret, and just similar, and everything else is basically the same. But instead of adoption, they just found him in a box.
Is that so?
Yeah,
that's a really beautiful tale.
it is really beautiful.
I really think that. Thank you. I really think that you really found the moral almost instantaneously, and you were just using the rest of your time to fuck around. And
I was taken aback.
Were you taken aback?
I was taken aback. Yeah.
We definitely need a camera. for the audio listeners, we definitely need a camera, and that's all I can tell you.
Okay, for the audio viewers, we just had a really intimate moment.
And for the visual listeners, watch us on IMAX coming out May 12th. Coming out in IMAX, we have what is it called?
Showcase Cinema sponsoring us.
No, IMAX.
IMAX theaters.
Yeah, what is the movie called that's coming out on IMAX? What is our
feature
movie?
our movie will obviously be like the fucking the Bimbos of Abbey or something.
Was it the Bimbos of Avalon?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Was it Bimbos riding the mists of Avalon?
Maybe. I think so. It was something like that.
You looked insane when you finished that sip. That was so funny. You're like, because I saw the future.
I took a sip and was just like, I don't even know where this bit is, much less where to go with it.
No, there's that's the beauty of this bit.
No,
it doesn't start, it doesn't end, it has no point.
It's a one-sided bit where I'm just trying to finish this beer.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to
there's no end.
Your bit.
There's no bit.
There's
never been a bit. The bit is this. The bit is all of this. I think the stool is too powerful. I think I don't deserve the stool.
I think
I sit on the ground?
No, this is good content.
Is this good content? Because I feel like I'm going insane.
That's the point. That's the moral.
I don't know how you. It's like The Ring, and I'm not worthy. You're like a wizard. And you're fine with it, but
maybe sit on the stool. And no, like that stool, like the piano stool, because it's a bit shorter, but it still is a stool, right? Do they call that a stool?
It's called a piano bench.
A bench.
It does.
Yeah.
Not that this matters to anyone ever, but it does resemble a bench more than a stool.
No, okay. Hear me out. Yeah. It's got 4 legs like a stool.
Or a bench.
Nope, like a stool, because I've seen benches with 2 legs.
I've seen stools with 4 legs.
Yep, you have. You're sitting on one.
So think about that.
Yeah,
Stick that in your ass and smoke it.
I thought about it harder than you did.
Fuck.
Yeah. Look at you. Flaccid thoughts over there.
All right, welcome to the Flaccid Thoughts Corner with your main man, Krellborn Jr. So what is it called? The Spastic Thoughts? Fuck. It's Flaccid Thoughts.
Flaccid
Thoughts. Flaccid Thought number 1. We're gonna throw it over to our main man, Lucky. Lucky, what been doing behind your back in them cells, and when there be throwing, and when, and what is your flaccid thought of the week?
True as fuck, Lucky. True as fuck. I've never heard a more flaccid thought than what Lucky just said. For the video and audio listeners, don't look at me like that. Put those eyes away.
For the video, don't look at me like that. Okay.
Yeah. For the video and audio listeners who shouldn't be looking at me like that either. Lucky just had a really profound thought, a really flaccidly profound thought, and I completely agree with it. You know, I just find it crazy how in this current economic recession, we still have Big Macs going for more than $2.
Remember the dollar menu?
I do remember the dollar menu, and they just took that from us. I'm pretty sure that thing was in the Constitution.
Remember dollar small fry?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Now
Remember
it's like
dollar drink?
Oh my god!
Yeah, any size.
Any size. Any single size for $1. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. You could get a small for $1 and you can get a large for $1.
That's what I'm saying. There was a time when the homeless people of America lived on McDonald's, and now they can't do that. What are they living on now? Throw it over to my man Lucky to answer that question. Lucky. Really profound.
Deep as hell. You know, this is why we have a 3-person podcast, because there's us who are a bit too hard for this flaccid thought section, but we have Lucky to really, loosen us up.
To flaccidicize.
Exactly. Make us soft instead of hard.
Exactly.
Whereas the two of us obviously make each other hard.
Exactly.
And
we're already hardened like a cowboy's leather boot.
Exactly. So again, Lucky, thank you. Always the flaccid fellow that we need around here.
And that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. We're 2 men on stools. You're right. You've been right the whole time. There's way too much symmetry happening.
Exactly.
It's like an echo chamber of insanity. Retardity? Is that a word?
Yeah, retardidity. Yeah, totally.
Retarded knitted? Propinquity.
Perhaps retardicity.
Retardicity.
Yeah. There's been too much.
Retardness. There's been too much of a retard. I see.
Agree.
Should we do a fart corner?
Let's do a fart corner.
I don't have any farts planned.
Neither did I. I
Shit.
assumed you did when you mentioned it.
No,
Okay,
I don't
we'll
have anything planned.
redact that and then like put it back in somewhere else.
We could bleep it.
We could bleep it. Yeah. Okay.
We could do a fart corner and then just bleep the rest of this and just pretend that our farts were so violent that
Mm-hmm.
it had to be bleeped.
Yeah.
Is this okay? Can I start you this way?
Yeah. Go ahead. Start me that way.
Okay, well, I'll start you this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, one question I've been dying to ask you is, where'd you get those cans?
The cans. So, you ever been to one of those food shelters?
Is this a rhetorical question? Because we go together.
It's more of a. Do I know if you're on the same page as
Do you
me?
know if this is the real me
Exactly.
and not a robot?
Mm.
Do you know if this is reality? So, I am with the can shelters,
Mm-hmm.
except I call them can shelters.
Yeah.
Because that's where I hide my cans.
Speaking of cans,
Who's that?
it's the Can Man.
Is that the can man?
It's the Can Man.
Is that can man Jan Stan?
Dude, why don't we switch up the mic situation?
Oh, we're going retro.
Yeah, when we had a switch of hosts.
You know what? You know what I'll do is I'll pass this mic off to Jeff, and I'll go grab my own mic.
Okay.
Do you want that? Would that be good for you?
Well, yeah, we might need to stop it.
Would you mind stopping it? Let's stop it.
Okay.
How
we'll stop
far
it.
are we? You know what we'll do is we'll have 20 minutes of silence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you guys enjoy that?
Yeah, no, it's not silence, the Lucky monologue. Lucky's going to talk first.
Let's throw it over to our main man, Lucky.
Yeah.
I'll produce.
Well, no, we'll throw it over to our main man, Lucky. Lucky,
Yeah, no.
We've been dying to hear your thoughts and philosophies on.
No.
Okay,
Don't
well, that was
don't
shut
interrupt
down
Lucky.
by the fucking producer. So I guess we got to move it on over to story time. Story time. Can we finish up? Let's not finish it up, but let's get a little bit of more detail about the Jew story.
Sure. Okay, fine. Yeah. So, the man, he leaves the rabbi's house and he's like, all right, the rabbi told me to bring the goats in.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes home, he brings the goats inside. And, obviously the goats, just like the chickens, they're not potty trained. They're still loud. So you now have this house full of this man's family, his extended family, the chickens, and now the goats. So they go to sleep. They wake up the next morning and the house stinks. Nobody got sleep because of how loud it was. Everybody's unhappy. So the man goes back to the rabbi. He's like, that night was even worse. How do I fix this? The rabbi looks at him and he says, I want you to go home and I want you to bring the cows in. And he goes home and he brings the cows in.
And that's the cliffhanger, and the rest is on Patreon.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case,
This story was awesome.
No, and you cut it right in the middle.
yeah, you're gonna love this one. So I'd like to throw it over to my yeast story,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
where so I found him in the canal.
Yep.
I have my cleaver. I throw it like I'm playing darts,
Mhm.
throwing darts,
Of course.
and obviously wildly miss. The
Mhm.
wind was off.
Crocodile
My
hat was in your head.
throwing exactly.
Mhm.
My hat was throwing me off. My boots were all soiled with mud, and I just couldn't stand it. There was no shine in my eyes.
Mhm.
I need shine in my eyes.
It was an off day.
I need the sunshine. So,
Mhm.
so what ended up happening is I accidentally throw myself into the water. It's like when you roll a 1 in Dungeons and Dragons, and you're trying to get a 20. Like you need that perfect throw.
Yeah.
You roll a 1, and you miss so hard that you kill yourself.
Mhm.
It was like one of those things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I fell into the water. I was swimming around, thrashing around. I was trying to find my way out.
Yeah, you were suffering.
Yeah, Johnny was just having a great time. It was just in like this almost like a really peaceful sauna
Mhm.
type of deal. Like, almost like a mud bath, like kind of like the intro of Shrek.
Yeah, sure.
And so I finally take out my Bowie knife,
Mm-hmm.
which I forgot I had until that moment.
Yeah.
And I cut the mud away,
Yes,
as anyone would do in that situation.
naturally.
And wouldn't you know it, I'm downhill from the old bread mill.
Yes, the old road, of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So obviously, that's my sanctum.
Mhm.
I've been there for years. I know my way around a good yeast. So I climb out of the swamp. I go the 20 or 30 or so yards to the bread mill. Leave behind that demon.
Naturally.
And should we end it there?
Yeah, the rest of the story is...
I get to the bread factory just before dark, and that's when things get fucking nuts.
Yeah, and if you want to see nuts, $5 for the patron.
Jeff, tell us your best nut story. Jeff died, so
yeah, Lucky, tell us your best nut story.
Yeah, Lucky, main man Lucky. That was a really compelling story, Lucky, and I applaud you for being able to say that into a microphone and have that, be heard, be recorded into the what do they call it? The panels of time, the annals.
Yeah, exactly.
The annals of time. The annals. Our producer is saying annals.
Our unproducer is saying annals.
He's dead. Yeah. Okay. So he shot himself with a.
We shot our producer in the back of the head.
No.
He shot himself in the back of the head.
This is a bit.
Stop. We bit the producer.
Stop it.
Okay. Fine. All right. The producer's fine.
This has been the bit about us not killing our producer. Okay. So, moving on, I'd like to talk about the Bible.
Yeah.
I've always been under the assumption that the Bible is categorically a monster with the teeth.
No.
And the hair and all of those things.
Yeah.
So, given that, where does it lie on the spectrum of autism?
So, have you ever seen Coraline?
Yes. And
you know how the father has buns for eyes?
Those were buttons?
They were buns.
Okay. Just for the sake of the story, I'll agree with you.
If I wasn't telling a story, would you disagree with me?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, just for the sake of the story.
Okay. So since it's my story, we will agree then that they were buns.
Well, for the sake of symmetry.
For the sake of symmetry.
Yeah, wait. What have you done? Okay, for the sake of symmetry. Things are all off because our producer killed himself. So, for the sake of symmetry,
just fine.
Stop it. He's cutting off for the audio only listeners. He's cutting off his own head, and he's so slow and stupid. All right. Where do the buttons fall on the scale of autism?
So, you know how if you've ever seen Coraline, the father has buns for eyes, and similar to the Bible that has buns for a spine. That would be on the same level of autism. And where that autism level falls is too far from normal.
Is that right?
Yes. So wherever you deem too far from normal is where that would fall.
Where would that be for you?
For me, there is a certain type of autism that's like okay. You know what I mean? It's like you can kind of blend into society, but like if you push too hard, you'll realize they're autistic.
Like a sort of hemorrhoid.
Yes,
if you push too far, it gets bloody.
Exactly. And once it gets bloody, that's the blood is the autism, right?
That's the authenticity of the autism.
Exactly.
And that's my schism on this paraphinism. So
exactly.
Artistic
as it is.
Artistic juice indeed. Now
artistic juice from the lips of our producer. So let's kahizzle, kahari. Let's carry on.
Carrying on
Into our ad break. Sorry, did you have something you wanted to say?
I was still telling you how the Bible's autistic.
Was that a bit?
No.
Okay, well let's continue.
So the hemorrhoid of autism,
Yes.
right, is when it starts bleeding. When you push it too hard, that's when it starts bleeding. The blood's the autism.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You then have the other side of that spectrum. Get it? Because it's autism, so it's on a spectrum. So you then have the other side of that spectrum where, you're past the hemorrhoid, right?
Yep.
And you're straight into the Sonic universe.
Are you talking coins?
I'm talking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
Blue Man,
Are you talking
but not part of the Blue Man group.
right?
Not a man, but a hedgehog.
Right.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
once you start repping the Sonic merch, you're too far gone in terms of autism, and that's where the Bible falls.
The Bible falls into that area of autism.
Yes.
The Bible is in the Sonic lore area.
Exactly. Of autism.
Oh man, I remember this one creepypasta or something like that where it was like these two kids that would play like it was like a Sonic the Hedgehog walkthrough, right?
Suicide Squidward.
Oh, Suicide Squidward's great.
I know. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes,
I can imagine.
and
okay.
so that's what I was saying because that's number 3, and everyone knows the rule of threes.
Yes, there can only be so many yeses and ands until you get a no but.
No, because.
No, however,
I'd like to propose.
Nay. Thus.
Okay, all right. Let's set up a nice improv conversation for us.
Okay.
I'm a banker, and you come to me asking for a small loan because you are in a halfway house. And your dream is to become a professional chef and own a restaurant and cooking school.
Yeah, okay.
And my whole thing is that I'm really into Asian ladies.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try it.
Okay, all right. Banker,
Hello, welcome to the bank.
do you happen to be Jewish?
Oh. Yes, and
That was perfect.
yes, and also, would you like a loan?
I wouldn't. But as a Jewish man myself, I happen to really like Asian women.
No. However, we could do the thing we were trying to do.
Yes, and I also happen to like Asian women and loans.
Okay,
But I like Asian women more.
I can work with that. I'm looking over at the producer and he's saying, yes, work with it. We have a lot of time left to fill. This is a screensaver? We got about a screensaver amount of time. So,
Are you the banker telling me this?
yes. As well as... I'm out of words. You know what I'll try to do? I'm a banker.
Are we restarting the bit?
No.
Okay.
This is all part of the...
Okay, all right.
Do you not understand that this is your reality now?
This is okay. Yeah, fine. All right. This is my reality.
You're asking
is
me.
accepting the reality going to get me
Shut
the
up.
loan?
Shut up.
Am I going to get the loan?
Shut up. Shut up. All you're doing is asking me for a loan. And I just happen to be a banker who's into Asian women.
And Jewish. You said yes, and
Yes.
you're Jewish.
Yes.
Yep, you
Yeah.
are. Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah, you
and I'm a black German.
You're a black Jewish German who likes Asian women and is going to give me a loan.
And I'm Jewish.
Yep.
So let's try one more time. Okay. Let's try from the top.
It's from the top.
Hello, welcome to my bank.
Are you Jewish or perhaps German or perhaps black?
Wow. You got all 3.
Wow.
Well, welcome to my bank. What could I do you for?
I have a proposition
As
for
a
you.
Jewish black German would say.
I have a proposition for you, my Jewish black German banker.
I'd love to hear it.
I would like a loan. And considering you're black, German, and Jewish, I know you like Asian women.
Wow. You hit the nail on the head on that. I really... What is it? Does it say it on my name tag? well, I'd love
It's
to hear...
actually the stars that told me.
Start David.
Well, I'd love to hear your reasoning for asking for a loan on this day of the Sabbath, where obviously we both must be resting.
Naturally. And I can understand that you, a Jewish man, working on the Sabbath,
Hate him.
hate him. Understandable, you know? Those civil wars, man. Tragic. But you know what's worse than a civil war?
Yes.
Not
And And as well as that,
And as
I'm
well
ready
as
to hear more of the reasoning for you wanting a loan.
the reason I want a loan,
Yeah.
right, is because I have this dream, right? One could say that I even have a dream because you're black.
Shalom.
I have a dream, right, where all the Jews can be put into a kitchen.
Like a soup kitchen?
Any kitchen.
Like a homeless shelter that we both perchance have visited once before.
One with cans.
Yes. And soups. Soup is soup in the can?
Soup's in the can.
I think we did
Okay,
it.
all right,
The soup's
yeah.
in the can. The show's in the can. We got our cans on. I'm standing up now because I'm so happy. I'm standing because we're candid. We're on the stands and we standed.
Agree.
I think we
Completely
did
agree.
it.
We did.
55 minutes is perfect.
Yeah. So within
This was
these,
the best episode ever.
within these last 5 minutes, you're gonna give me that loan?
Oh, tell us the end of your Jewish story.
What? The one that's going on the Patreon?
Yeah. We'll put the whole thing on the Patreon.
Okay, all right,
We
fine.
can't just give this good of an episode away.
Okay,
Are you
fine.
kidding me?
This will be the Patreon episode. Okay, all right. Last 5 minutes. All right. So like, were we at the cows at this point? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
we were
brought
at
the cows into the house.
Brought the cows.
And then
and
he's
the
about
cows.
to go to sleep. I think that's where we ended up.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, the cow's not potty trained, loud as hell, a lot of milk. You know, leads to a messy house. The extended family's in there, regular family's in there, the man's in there, chickens are in there, the goats are in there. They go to sleep. Family once again is just like, dude, this house fucking sucks. There's our entire family and 3 types of livestock in here. Stop. So the man goes to the rabbi again. He's just like, listen, everyone's complaining. Nobody's happy. Our floors are dirty. Nobody's gone to sleep in 3 days. How do we fix this? And the rabbi looks at him and he's like, I want you to go home. I want you to take the animals back outside. And he does that.
Moment of silence. Oh my
I
God.
know.
Oh my God. That was amazing. I think the only thing that could possibly top that ever for a good closer is the end of my yeast story.
True as fuck. And
as
then when
fuck.
you're done with that, I might end my story.
Oh, I would love for you to end your story.
Maybe.
Oh, we could leave that for the Patreon, but I assume it's less than a minute long, so we might as well cap it.
Okay, done. Yeah, end your yeast story.
Or should we cap it here? Start the next one at the end of my yeast story. Oh. You.
Okay, I guess we're starting with the next one then.
All right. So that's the end.
Okay.
Goodbye. Good luck. Good night. Godspeed.
True as fuck.
Goodfellas. Do you remember the movie Goodfellas? Shout
Never
out to the
watched
movie
it, but I
Goodfellas.
did like it.
Oh, okay, well, let's cheers to it.
Okay, let's cheers to Goodfellas.
Here you go. And to the producer.
Our beheaded producer.
Hey, maybe beheaded, but he looks like a goddamn Asian.
Damn, does he get fed?
Well, it's always good to end our podcast with something that makes it so that we can't put these podcasts out.
Come on, dude. Well, actually, no. Pride Month is over. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, you're right. We can't put that.
Pride for the Asians? What are you talking about?
I was talking about my comment. I don't know what you said.
Oh, I don't even know what I said. Let's just end it.
They'll know what we said.
We'll know.
They'll know what we said.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. Goodbye.